We are having conversations behind the scenes before we even come on air. It happens sometimes. You're still watching Prime Morning. Why is it? That's it. Hey, we are matching, no? Me and my, what's it called? We are matching. Let me move it a bit this way. Aha. Because it looks like I have a blue partner seated by me. Anyway, like I said, you're still watching Prime Morning, and my name is Rosalind Fairley. And it's time for us to have our relationship conversation. But we are not doing this alone. We are doing it together, okay? So for you at home, we need you to send in your message, your comments. Send it to us right now. Let's have the conversation together. We don't want to do it without you. You know the number to send it to on, right? It's 055-157-5757. 055-157-5757. Now, have you been in a relationship that it was so bad or it was so good? And hence, it either affected your other relationship positively or negatively. Doesn't really happen though. You know, some people, they don't carry it forward. It's like, yeah, my past experience is just dead and gone. And some of them also carry it forward, either affecting their partners positively or negatively. Now, today I have two great men of God to tell us how it actually happens. Maybe they'll quote some Bible verses with it and let us understand if it's normal or it's not normal, but as humans, we just try to carry it forward. We'll talk about that. But we need you to be a part of the conversation. 055-157-5757. Are you playing the game as well? *281#. Play. Let's play the game together, all right? So you pick up your phone, whether you're a Telecel user or an MTN user, you pick up the phone and you dial *281#, and you select number 7, which is Joy Prime. Today we'll be drawing, we promise you, we are gonna be drawing just like we drew yesterday, like we drew 2 days ago. So we do it, all right? And so play the game. Now, let me introduce you my guest for this morning for us to have a very good conversation. And I have Pastor Daniel Boateng Kusi. He is the pastor with Christ Cosmopolitan Incorporated. Hello, Pastor.
Hi, Rosemary. I'm great.
You're good. All right. And I have with me Reverend Eugene Ekwamwa Boateng. Hi, Rev.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm blessed by the grace of God.
Your place is Inspirational Place.
Praise.
Is it Praise or
Praise Chapel.
Praise Chapel.
Good.
Welcome.
Thank you.
I haven't seen you before though.
Okay.
First time meeting you.
Yeah. But I've been around.
Oh, you've been around. Oh, that's not my first time. I feel honored to see you.
Thank you. Nice.
So for Kusi Boateng or Boateng Kusi. Please, people keep on asking me if you are related to Reverend Kusi Boateng. Are you?
I'm spiritually related to him.
Spiritually, okay. So we'll stick to the spiritually related. But let's not forget that we are doing it together. So don't forget to send in your messages. We'll definitely read your messages once they come in because we want an all-inclusive conversation. Let's talk about relationship baggages. What is even a baggage in the first place, where we ask ourselves, because sometimes we go into relationships without realizing that we are carrying on our baggages from our past relationships. And so let me ask you, Reverend Eugene, which is the baggage that we carry? What is a relationship baggage?
You know, relationship is a journey, and we learn a lot when we have the opportunity being together with somebody. It doesn't go the way we wish sometimes. Some go very well. But it becomes a problem when people want to carry it into their next relationship. It either affects it or even doesn't make it better. So I know a lot of people today who are carrying a lot of pain of the past and using that pain of the past to innocent people today, which is a big problem. So in relationship, yet everybody's praying to enter into a nice relationship, a happy one. Even everybody has a dream relationship he or she wish for. But it might not be the way you wish for. But it doesn't mean you should carry that pain or hurt into your next relationship. You need to heal your wounds. You need to bind your wounds. You need to heal yourself so that at least you don't hurt a good person.
Pastor Dan, do we intentionally carry it forward or it's subconsciously?
Okay. Thank you, Rosalind. I'm picking off from where Reverend started off, speaking about the fact that relationships are a journey. Yeah. The Word of God tells us that since we are surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses, let us run our race and let us lay aside every sin. That's one thing. And it tells us that let us lay aside every weight. So there are things that are weights that put us down as we journey on in life. Now, I would revert and start from the foundational principle that relationships come about when two decide to walk about together. Because we know that can two walk together, lest they be in agreement. If they be in agreement, it means that in their mind, principally in their soul and in their body, they are going in the same direction. That is how come they are able to be in a relationship. And in the course of this, because iron sharpens iron, and one man brightens the countenance of his neighbor, and because a companion of fools shall be foolish, as we relate, there is the rub off from me to the person. Now, even before we go into relating externally, there is something we always lose sight of. The first relationship a person has is with himself. So there are people that have a primary baggage of relationship, of weights that they are carrying in themselves even before they met somebody. Now, a number of them. Number one, we know from Psalm 51, verse 15, David says that it was in sin that my mother conceived me, and I was shaping in iniquity. So there is the error that is within the natural born man, his faults, his failings, that comes naturally, even from birth. Then beyond that, there is that which is the iniquity that runs through their family lineage. There are families that go in a certain way. There is a certain wrongness with their conduct. That's the next thing. Then beyond that, there is the environmental situation in which a person was raised. Paul tells Timothy in 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 5, he says that I call into remembrance the faith that is in you, the same faith that was in your grandmother Lois, and it was in your mother Eunice. So the reason and the upbringing of a person would also contribute to who the person is. Now, all this is the person's baggage that they are carrying along even before they started relating to you.
Okay.
When the person stands in front of their mirror in the morning and they look at themselves in the mirror, what runs through their mind? How do they see themselves? It is that which they would bring on board to the relationship. So even before the relationship started, the person is carrying their own personal baggage. Now, as they relate with the person who they are interacting with, there is what they are contributing to the person and what they are also picking up from the person. Now, it becomes baggage if in going into the next relationship, now, whatever it is they have picked does not become a resource for good, but now it becomes a weight to bring down the expectations or the demands of the next relationship. That is when it becomes problematic.
But you know, there's an Akanda adage. No,
so, yeah.
And as human as we are, yes, what you said, you quoted the Bible.
Yeah.
But can we live like that? Everybody has a baggage one way or the other.
Yes.
I ought to learn from my past lessons. I ought to learn from, my past relationship if it went bad.
Yeah.
I won't stand there for you to break my heart twice. So if I see something, I ought to change things. Is it wrong?
It is never wrong. It takes somebody who is not wise to not learn from the past. In life, as I said, it's a journey. Anything that comes your way is part of who you should be tomorrow. And God has prepared us in a way that He makes people haters to learn lessons out of it.
So then it's okay to carry my baggage, right?
You must not carry it, but you must learn lessons out of them. For example, I've dated somebody, and I invested all my money into the person, and then this person disappointed me, treated me so bad. I had time, invested everything. When I'm going into the next relationship, what do? I need to learn lessons out of what...
So you don't invest again?
I invest, but I invest wisely.
How?
How, in a sense that, imagine a young guy will just stand one day and decide that, oh, I've picked a lady. I want to take all the cost of the lady, take her to school, take care of the family. We have some guys who are at the age of about 30 years. They are more than fathers. They are paying for in-laws. They've started even taking care of the kids in the home, which they are not married. Just imagine this.
But wait, you're not supposed to do it when you're not married?
No, you are not supposed to. You are not obliged to do that. It's not part of
But
it.
you love her. You're about to marry her.
I have a book I've entitled Marriage is for the Mature.
Okay.
You need to be matured enough before you enter into marriage.
No, but in your relationship,
But in your
you have
relationship,
the money, you have the means.
so imagine a 30-year-old guy,
And you have
and
the
you've
means.
met a lady,
But-
you've started paying university fees.
Yeah, you have the money.
Aside to that, you are taking care of the mother.
You have the money.
It's not part of your rules.
But you have the money.
You have the money.
Yeah.
If you have the money, it's not your duty to do it.
But you want to do it.
You want to do it.
Yes.
So that means, per what we're discussing, imagine a young guy doing this and then gets disappointed in a way. what do you do in your next relationship? You need to be vigilant. You need to just be careful. I believe that, yes, when people don't even hurt you, you don't become wiser. So our hurt builds us for tomorrow. So it is good people even disappoint you, people hurt you in your path of life. But then don't use it as grudges as you're moving forward.
Okay, so now I like what you just said.
Good.
From what I understand, you're trying to tell me
Yeah.
that if this happens to me when I go into my next relationship, I ought not to repeat same.
Yet, you need to learn from it.
So I'm carrying on my baggage.
You're not carrying it. You are learning from it. Carrying it is where you carry the hurt
Okay.
and the pain.
Okay.
So, for instance, somebody has disappointed me. And we have some people who have tagged themselves that there are certain names they will never date.
Okay.
We have some ladies, they declare, I dated one Isaac. And what one Isaac did to me, or what one Boateng did to me, the next time he sees the Boateng, he meets another.
And I have two Boateng.
And you have two Boatengs here. So what happens is that I
Right.
don't want the name Boateng in my life, which is wrong.
Right.
Some people also meet other innocent people. And now, do you know, because people carry those baggages, it's affecting people to even have love. We have some people there, their love is dead.
But you can you blame them?
I see, their love is dead. But they should come to realize that one Eugene that will offend you will be one same Eugene that will do you good.
But you don't want a repetition twice. You don't want to have heartbreak twice where you've been crying. And, you know, people have been to that point where they even wanted to end their lives and they've been able to come out of it. After coming out of all that phase, you want me to go through heartbreak again?
Do you know, it will be a mistake for you to think nobody must hate you.
Oh, let me bring Pastor Dan in. I'm just saying, you know, I've been there.
Yes.
I've been hurt. Why should I allow myself to get there again?
Okay. So just as Reverend pointed out, you should be able to sit back and appreciate life's experiences and its value. I have a scar here. It's a reminder of something that happened to me as a child. When you touch the scar today, there is no pain. The mark is there, but there is no pain. There is a difference between a wound and a scar. A person went into a relationship. The relationship went south. When it went south, the person is hurt. They have a wound. If the wound is not healed, we would know by pressing that spot. Every time you touch it, it will hurt. If the wound is healed, what will remain will be the scar. The scar will be the reminder that I made a mistake in the time past. It is the lesson that I have learned, as Reverend pointed out. If you have somebody who, the situation becomes a baggage situation when the wound has not healed. Now, the funny thing is, there are instances where it will look as though the wound is healed.
And it's covered.
It's covered.
Yeah.
It's just a thin layer of skin that is covering it. But beneath it, the wound is just there.
So you need to heal it.
Precisely. Because it can even get gangrene. And you meet such a person, you actually suppose that the person has healed, but the person has actually not.
Yeah.
It's just a veneer of skin that is covering it. Because if it's healed indeed, all you have is a scar. When you touch it,
There's something.
there's no pain. But the lesson has been learned. And that is what the person carries forth into their next relationship.
So you ought to carry your scar and not the pain.
Yeah.
Good.
So how long does it take for one to heal before they go into the next
You need to heal yourself the very day you are hurt. The very day. I have a book I've entitled Biding Your Wounds. One of the things people need to realize is that you are not the only wounded person. You are not the only person who is facing this pains in relationship. You're not the only person. A man has dated you for 10 years and said, I won't marry you. You're not the only person. You're not the only person who has invested in a lady and the lady said, I don't like you anymore. You're not the only person. So you should come to the realization that if somebody offends me, hurts me, I need to forgive. We must learn to let go. I see a lot of people are carrying pain, hurt, and they are not ready to forgive, to let go. But the more you keep bitterness, it's like you are drinking poison and expecting the other person to die for you.
Right.
So why do you sit down? Why do you kill yourself? Somebody will tell you, I don't love you again. I don't need you again. And the person will move on, and you'll be crying somewhere, tearing apart, deciding to even kill yourself. You've made a big mistake. Learn to let go. There is something good in you. There is something great in you. The hurt was to just build you. It is giving you a momentum for who God wants to make you tomorrow. So don't be offended when you are hurt. Just bind your wounds. Be ready to heal yourself. Nobody's going to heal you. Heal yourself.
How do you heal yourself?
Nice question.
Okay. So picking it up from where Reverend left off about the need for you to do something about it. Okay. Usually I notice 3 approaches people have towards their pain or towards bad experiences. Firstly, there are people who decide, I'm just going to bury it. Let's just neglect it and pretend it's not happened.
Good.
Then there are those who, they would acknowledge it, something has happened to me, but you know what, I'll sidestep it. I'll not address it. I've acknowledged it happened. Then there are those who would decide that, look, this is what's happened to me. It's turned me into something that I am not. I would need to make a change. It starts off from the approach that you are taking. If you decide to just bury it, as you bury it, one day it will surface, it would show up. If you decide to acknowledge but sidestep it, it would now become a trigger in future instances that the next person you're going to be relating with will not appreciate and understand because you are coming from a certain background of trauma. But if you choose to use the third approach, that you would have to set back and look at what is it that went on. How did it hurt you? How has it changed you from who you are? How has it altered you from who you aspire to be? That marks the beginning of the healing process. There are times you may not be able to heal solely by yourself. You would need external help.
Right.
Because when a person is ill, they know they are ill. They are the ones that are feeling the pain. And sometimes in the midst of pain, a lot of the times, the attention and the focus of the person is solely on their pain, and they don't see any other thing. But it takes one who is seated outside, as a doctor, who would ask you questions. Where are you feeling the pain? How did the pain come about?
So who is the right person to talk to?
Good. Who is the right person to talk to? I always say that when it comes to matters of pain and relationship, don't talk to people who are not in a position to have influence in the situation. Let me give a case in point. I'm relating with Reverend. We are good friends.
Yeah.
Something has gone on. It hurts me terribly. You are probably a third friend. Then I come to you, Rosalind. Can you imagine this is what Reverend has done and all that? The question I'm asking myself is Rosalind in a position to be able to even sit Reverend down and have a word with him? Does Rosalind have that level of influence and authority to be able to do that? If she doesn't, it's just a waste of time. You're gossiping. Yeah. The reason being that man has a conscience, and it is the voice of authority that rules a man's conscience that actually determines what the man will do. So if you noticed, for instance, when marriages are being contracted, there's the man here, there's the woman here. Then they ask, we need 2 people from the man's family, 2 people from the woman's family to stand behind them. We do not want the parents to do that. The reason being that we need these 2 people who are neutral to serve as a voice of authority over the conscience of these people, so that in case of any hate, they will be able to speak and bring about peace. So you have the person who counseled them for marriage, you have your pastor, you have whoever it is that is standing as a voice of authority over the relationship. Then you also have professional psychologists and counselors who you can open up to. And then if there is even the instance of medical or bodily hurt, the person may need to speak to a doctor, because there are times the pain that is in the body is the constant reminder that something has gone wrong. And if that pain is not addressed medically for the person to be healed, it will constantly be a baggage the person will carry out.
Having a friend that you can talk to, is it the best thing?
It's not wrong to talk to somebody you think is a right person.
Friend.
Yet a friend. We have some friends who are very right, and we have friends who are wrong. As your question previously with what I wanted to add was how to heal your wounds. One thing is to trust God's timing. Sometimes people must come to understand that for somebody to even hurt you or offend you in a relationship, it's part of God's plan. Do you know those who rejected you? Mr. Boatin here. Those who decided not to marry him. Pastor Boatin. those who decided not to marry him, or the ladies who decided not to ignore him, have helped him to meet the right person today. So sometimes you must trust God in your timing. Secondly, that you must also know that you must use your wounds as a motivation. This is the problem the generation today we have. We want to die with our problems. We want to die with our pain. But use your pain as a stepping stone for the best life. You can be hurt. You can even use it in writing a book.
What if you're not a writer?
Get somebody. We have people who can help you in writing, and you pay them. So actually, you turn your problem. You can even turn as a relationship expert or coach. You can learn something out of it. But here's in the case, and we have people who they go through pain and they want to die with the pain. But you are here because of the pains.
But everybody is different. You see, humans are such that they are the tough people and they are the people who are very vulnerable.
Very true.
So you meet, and there are people who were vulnerable, but they became tough because of their past experiences. And that's why we see some people who fall into depression easier than others would. So for somebody who is very vulnerable,
what do you do?
What you're saying will not work like that.
So somebody of such, with what Ref said,
it's what that person needs somebody.
Somebody,
okay.
Either a good friend, a counselor. There are pastors available who are always there. We have even some people who are not necessarily men of God, but we have people who are matured enough.
Pastor, there are men of God, some men of God, not all men of God, who will use your problem as a preaching topic.
Oh, that one happens when the man of God is not mature.
But it happens.
Yet, it happens when the man of God...
It does happen.
I know, it happens. But it happens when the man of God is not mature. Because, when you're a matured man of God and you're preaching on the pulpit, somebody comes to speak to you about a private situation, and then you speak about it publicly.
No, but don't mention your name, but they'll use it as a preaching
But you will know it's you.
Yes.
So what happens is that it loses confidence in the pastor. Now, a time will come, people will not decide or like to come and share their stories with you. And one of the secrets of every man of God is to be secretive. You need to be very secret. You need to keep things in mind. It's not everything. We have some things we hear and we keep. But if you decide to say everything out front, it's not the best. So I think that is a wrong thing. But they should get right pastors they can talk to, they can counsel them, and I think their wounds will be healed.
Right. Must you heal fully before you get into your next relationship?
Nice question.
You must. Now, to touch a bit on what Reverend mentioned, Rosalind, you spoke about different temperaments and different emotional states of people, which is true. And so it's not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. And I always tell myself that when people are going through things, we should ask ourselves, if God was in our position, how would he have dealt? Now, man was wounded and man was damaged because of sin. Yet God wants to still relate with man. But the thing is, he can't relate with man in his damaged and in his wounded state. As good as God is, as perfect as he is, as powerful as he is, he cannot and he would not be able to relate fully with man in his fallen state. And so there was need for work to be done to bring the man to a certain place or to a certain point before God could relate with man to the fullest extent. That is the reality that we all have to face when it comes to the matter of relationships. And as you pointed out, there are people that are weak and are vulnerable. There are people that are relatively emotionally softer.
Yeah, very.
And for such people, you would need an environment of love for you to heal. One thing I tell myself is, Rosalind, you can't tell me to go naked when you are not willing to go naked. And so if such a person is sitting before a pastor or a counselor, and you want the person to unburden, how am I able to tell that you will be able to help me when you are not even bold and confident enough to share with me what you went through and how you've been able to come out? It is in it that a person's confidence that they would be able to receive help from whoever it is they are before starts off. It is in that exposure, it is in that frank openness that assures the person that this person will be able to help me. And then an environment of love and assurance. Because if I'm coming to open up and tell you all that I have been through, the mess and the mistake I have made, if I'm going to receive judgment, if I'm going to get condemnation, if I'm going to get bashing as the response, I'm not going to do it. Because it is the kindness of God that leads men to repentance, that brings healing. It is not anger, and it's not vehement fierceness. So those two, you need time, you need an environment of love, and you need somebody who has been through what you've been through and has an understanding of what you're going through to help walk you through the phase of healing to get to that point. But a person must come to the point of full healing.
Before you jump into your next relationship.
Other than that.
What if you meet somebody who is taking very good care of you?
Good. Rosalind.
That's the kind of boss me healing and samakum. God has brought somebody who's paying my bills. You're saying I should wait?
It will shock you that the money will be coming, but still there will be a repetition of a problem. Because, you're not fully healed. You need to heal yourself to the extent of even forgiving yourself and forgiving your past. And it will be the best way for your next relationship. Most people, what they need in relationships sometimes is not just money. No.
Okay, love. The person show you all of that.
It happens when you've not gotten one.
Okay.
But when you get somebody who's providing you the money, you sometimes come to a realization that love is not all about money. Some people are getting all the money, but they are not okay. Sometimes it's not about the money. It's about the love. Imagine you are getting the money with no respect. Imagine you are getting the money but treated like trash. Imagine you are getting the money but there is no joy.
But what if the person comes as a full package, but you still haven't healed?
Oh, yet if the person is even coming as a full package, it should even enhance your healing.
It enhances your healing?
Yes.
Now, you see, Rosalind, number one, you will have your triggers from the trauma that you are dealing with.
Yeah.
Number two, you will have your trust issues from the past. Number three, you would have your emotional instability from the past. Number four, you have your communication challenge from the past issues that you have been through. Number five, you would have the situation of comparison. All these are coming along. If you have met somebody and you mentioned the person is a full package, the person is indeed all that it is that
You are
say.
praying for.
You're praying for.
But you haven't healed.
But you haven't healed.
You need
Now, actually, that person
Should enhance.
should be able to enhance,
Your healing.
as he's rightly said. And that's the instance I cited. Now, man in a fallen state has met a full package, God.
God. So
So what happens to man? Now that God, who is the full package in this instance, helps man to heal and to come out of the abyss of depression and destruction man has plunged himself into and come into a place of healing. And there are many stories that abound. And actually, a lot of marriages and a lot of relationships that have traveled years. The only thing is we tend to lose sight of the factor of time. That have traveled years have actually brought about a change and a revolution. Ask people who've been married for 20 years. They'll be able to tell you, when I met this man, how I was. When I met this woman, how I was. And over the course of time, how the person has helped me get to become a better person. A person may not be fully, sometimes a person's healing has not even been fully complete. The person may feel, at this point, I don't feel anything. I think I can move on. They may not be fully healed. But in the course of the relationship, as they experience the triggers and all that, the other party helps them to come into the place of healing. Because as the other party starts to wonder, why are you like this? What happened to you? Okay, when I was growing up, this and this and this, what happened between me and my brothers and all that. Oh, okay. How do we get you to go past that? Because that you will not be suited for where we are going to.
Right. Okay. I think that today I've learned a lot. For me, mom dear, must be careful. Pastor, you have a book you're launching?
Yeah.
All right, tell us about your book.
Yeah, I have 3 books. By the grace of God, I have the Marriages for the Mature.
Okay.
Good. It takes maturity to marry, not age. So
Let's show it to the camera.
yet,
That's
so
your camera.
marriage is for the
Okay,
mature.
I'll show this
You
one.
need to be mature enough to be married.
Yeah.
And I have binding your wounds.
Okay.
Exactly what we are discussing today.
Okay.
That you need to let go. You need to use your wounds as a stepping stone to the next journey
Okay.
you have ahead of you. And the last one is the power of value. One of the biggest thing I've come to realize today is that people value other things than what God has blessed them with. We have some people that don't even value themselves, not that of even their children. They value that which belongs to others. But the value you place on yourself will determine how people will accept you or reject you.
That thing is very true, eh? It's
Yeah.
so true. Like placing some sort of value on
your
yourself.
life. Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to see yourself.
Kim just says that when a girl tries to break his heart, he says, listen, I am the KMJ.
Yeah.
How dare you try to break my heart? I am. Do you know who I am?
Yeah.
That's what he says.
Yeah.
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 And it works.
And it's good. Do you know, when you don't know who you are, you lose value. And we are too needed to be wasted. So if somebody doesn't know how to value what is right, you must value yourself so that the attitude of others will not push you away
Yeah.
and will not make you feel inferior. Yeah.
Pastor Dan, before you go, anything you want to say, please?
Yes. Hurts, wounds are part of life. We all go through that. If man fundamentally was not wounded by sin, Jesus would not have come. And when he came, he showed the greatest extent of love by loving, living, dying, and rising up to bring healing, to bring life, and to bring hurt. If you're in a state of hurt, if you're in a state of wound or of being wounded, know that there is hope for you. You don't have to live with that baggage. You don't have to continue the journey of life carrying that baggage along. There is a place of healing, there is a place of restoration, and there is a place where God would want to have you whole. Go for that.
Fantastic. Is there a number to call for those who want the
Yes.
book?
If you need a copy of the book, you call 0544 000 296. 0544 000 296. If you call us, we'll get you a copy and it can be delivered to you.
Delivered. And can we find it anywhere to buy as well?
Yes, you can find it, one at Inspirational Praise Chapel at Pokwasi. You can find it at my school, Inspirational Praise Complex at Bawito Base. Yet you can get a copy there.
Okay, fantastic. Now it's time for us to draw. But did we get any messages though? Because I actually promised my viewers that I hear we have so many messages. Oh my God, I wish we could read it, but unfortunately, let me give out money. Let me be Santa Claus. Santa Claus is coming to town. I'm here. So we are drawing right now. So are we ready, producer? So let's count down. Okay, so we starting from 5. Okay, I know my pastors. I don't know if you can help me count down. I'm giving money out. So we count down from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yay! Who's the person? Who wins? Okay, we're still waiting for who. Okay. As I did, hey, who's the lucky winner? A person doesn't want to win. You don't want to win. You don't want to win. Okay.
2 numbers fighting each other.
I know, right? That's why it's a spiritual battle. The spirits are working. So who is winning? Okay. All right, so, okay, it looks like they want you to keep playing also. If you keep playing, you will definitely win. So let's see. Maybe we should take some messages as we wait. So if I can have just like 2 messages so that my viewers know that I have them at heart. I promise and I don't fail. I don't like to promise and fail. I don't like to.
It's good.
It's not good to promise and fail.
When you feel too much, you will not be trusted.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, Pastor Dan owes me a perfume, so
Wow.
he hasn't filled yet. So,
Pastor Dan, please don't fail. Mr. Watson, don't fail.
Pastor Dan, you're not going to fail, are you?
Rosalie.
Big Chef Cooking Competition Tertiary is still on. Our stop is in the Volta region today. We know last year the school from the Volta region won. This year, we don't know if they'll retain the crown or somebody else, one of the schools is going to win. But don't forget that the Trill is stopping in the Volta region. Now, yesterday we had a fantastic show on changes. It's still trending. And please, if you watch bits and you are bashing, don't watch just a bit. Go and watch the full interview and understand what Mama Mighty was saying. Mama Mighty was saying that this is what she used to do, but she's advising every young one out there not to do same. So please go and take a look at it. It's on Facebook. It's a full video. It's actually, the conversation was about 15 minutes conversation. So go and take a look at it and enjoy it. And also don't forget the Chalawote Street Art Festival is still on. It's 50 cedis for a Ghanaian and 100 cedis for non-Ghanaians. So go there and learn more about our culture, our tradition, our art as well. Today I've learned a lot. We're trying to get you the messages, but we also want to draw. And we're using the same things, you know. So unfortunately, I know I promised I don't like to fail, but today I have to fail you. But tomorrow I will not fail you, my guys. Okay? So let's see what we have. Who is winning today? So we are we playing or we are done playing? This is out of my ear, so let me put it back in the ear and listen. Okay, so we are definitely going to try and see how best we can get a lucky winner. I don't know, but today let me try and see if I can play. I saw well, what I was going to say, I had to hold myself. Oh, do you have the clip of the changes? Can we play something out of changes from yesterday? I think we should play something. Let's see what we are playing. What are we playing this morning? Have you watched changes?
I've been watching the past episodes.
Yes.
I've not watched yesterday's one.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So we should let you see what happened yesterday.
Okay.
So do we have a footage? Oh, but we can play what we had on what we played earlier. What's it called? What's trending? We can play it.
Yeah.
So that our pastors, our able pastors will see exactly what happened. But anyway, so please make sure you watch Changes. It's on Wednesdays and Fridays. So tomorrow we'll have a live show again at 1 p.m. You can have a look at it and enjoy it.
Yeah, it's a nice show.
It's a nice show.
Very
But you say you haven't watched it.
Yeah, I've watched it. I've watched it.
What do you say?
Hosted by yours truly.
Hosted by yours truly. Hosted by yours truly.
very nice.
Okay. All right. So on that note, I think that we'll have to end the show now. And so thank you so much, pastors, for being here. Super grateful. I had with me Pastor Daniel Boateng Kusi, who says he is not related to Pastor Kusi Boateng, but spiritually related. Are you sure he's not your brother? I should see you in Chambers. I'll see you in Chambers. And Pastor Eugene Boateng as well. Thank you so much. He has a book out there. So please don't forget to get a copy for yourself. Very educative ones. The Power of Value, Binding Your Wounds, and Marriage is for the Mature. So make sure you get a copy as well. My name is Roslyn Felly. I didn't do this alone. I did this with the man, K to the M to the J. Enjoy the rest of your day, but don't forget to go on Facebook and watch Changes, which aired yesterday. Bye.